What up? What up? What up? Where's it's Duke Sims the Don. We coming with the Damu Kiwe Conversations. I didn't even want y'all to wait 5 more minutes. And I appreciate everybody who already up in here. You know what I'm saying? I had to take care of some business. And then I was gonna get to it. We do got the content. If y'all see the let me go on Instagram and put this. If you on Instagram, you could go on YouTube or Twitch, whichever one you want. At Active Chucks, man. Let me see them Active Chucks in the chat for the Damu Kiwe Conversations. You know what I'm saying? Salute. We gonna pin that comment. Let me send this shit off. Boom. Boom. Hit that like button, man. All right, now I need to find that goddamn. I need to send this to Yael. I don't think I sent Yael the link. Hit the link. Hit that like button one time. One time for your mind. Let me see. Boom. So we finna have that for y'all. Shit fucking off my high, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, boom. Okay, so now I done sent that to the Kiwe Pop Star. So now I can send the other link to everybody else. Let's share, tell a friend. Let them know y'all in here with the dot. Do Sims. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Welcome to Damu. Salute to the Damu Kiwe chat. Edward Bell, salute. What's up, homie? You know what I'm saying? Hey, matter of fact, let's get some music going before we get to the content. Hey, man, the sooner we get these likes up, the sooner we'll get to it. Shout out my brother, A Dose of Reality TV. We definitely gonna play that. We might get right into that after I get into a couple of these songs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? He did his thing. I'm a day one from my section. Matter of fact, we got the Kiwe Pop Star in the building. Pardon the delay. I didn't see you come. Hit that like button on y'all way in. While we talking about that, hey, bless one. Let me get into the chat. Steffi, Weffy, salute, dudes, Yael, Miles in the chat. Blue Heart, Red Heart, Active Chuck. Salute, Ricky. Salute, Dude. Salute, y'all. Salute, Damu Kiwe fam in the chat. Let's go. King Kong the Great. Salute, Renegade Duchess. A Dose of Reality TV is in the building. We finna get to his shit right now. Before we get to a pork butt and get to flaming him up, we want to start with entertainment. We want to start with artistry, innovator, A Dose of Reality TV, ladies and gentlemen. Amir Shaheed, salute to the real. Salute. Bless, what up, homie? You know what I'm saying? Papa Dirt, Damu Kiwe Conversation family, Leon Knight. I'm a day one from my section. Hey, look, bro. A Dose of Reality. My nigga Duke Sims in the building for the active content. Active Trust, the only way to keep it. This nigga Dose of Reality just revolutionized the way that artists market and promote themselves within the content. You niggas wouldn't understand his greatness if it graced you face to face every day, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I gotta even share and I gotta share that link. A Dose of Reality TV video, man. I don't know. And we got a video from Scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know what I'm saying? We got the content. Stuff, Tupac, Biggie murders, Reggie Wright admitting He told security not to have guns with the Tupac shit. My boy Kip Cammy, they done remade his video. I talked to dog. You know what I'm saying? We got some old links. And then we'll get into how that relates to the Big U case. It's a whole lot of creepy nights out right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all out there that gave up them streets. You know what I'm saying? Because it is not, there's no law amongst thieves, man. These niggas out here openly working. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. So we got all of that. But before we get into all of that, we getting straight to the talent. You know what I'm saying? Of and debut with my nigga Dose of Reality TV. So for those who didn't come late, that's your bad. If you didn't hit that like button or turn on them notifications, that's your bad. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get right into that. Let me get to that right now. Dose of Reality TV. And what, I forgot the TV part. Boom. Boom. I think it was a video. Yeah, it's a video. 4 hours. Y'all got to go run this shit up. Let me put this link in the chat. Go hit that like button. Tell them that we sent you a Dose of Reality TV. Megan Davis, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? The link to Dose of Reality TV is in the chat. I need to put it in the description too, but let me first put the movie on. Hit that like button if you're coming in. Do anyone know who Wack100 is? A Dose of Reality TV. Yael, were you able to see this whole thing? I know you've been on the plantation and work for Master.
Oh man, listen, I was watching it, brother, and it's pretty good, man. I want people to be amazed by this. This is a very good video, man. Y'all
Could you introduce your brother? Because he love Yael, man.
Man, listen, y'all sitting with one of the dopest, one of the GOATs. Salute to Scandalous Los Angeles TV. But right now, we're jumping into a Dose of Reality. It's finna hit. Don't be mad at me. Because I don't know who CS2 Back is. I don't know you. But guess what? A Dose of Reality TV does. Damu Kiwe Conversations. Let's get to it.
Hit that like button coming in.
Do anyone know Wack100? Street interview. Do anyone know Wack100?
Well, we know he's not a day one from his section.
Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Mos and Coyote. That's real.
You have to understand, there are forces at play, big forces. They don't want you to know. Yeah, we know Wack. He got clubhouse, podcast, beefs. Meanwhile, we still out here in the trenches. No docus.
Do I know Wack100? Every app he's on turns into chaos. He be arguing in weird positions, making more noise than sense.
We know he like baby oil like Diddy. 3 fingers and all, allegedly.
Wax a hoe for that.
Isn't he the one? Do you know who Wack100 is? Wait, is that the guy that be on Clubhouse naked yelling at other men?
Oh yeah, we love him. He's like reality TV, but with no camera budget.
Wack who? That sounds like some off-brand cleaning spray.
Wait,
Or a dance move from 1972.
you to be hollering on the phone naked?
Do you know who Wack100 is?
Well, we know he's not a day one from his section. Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyote. Do anyone know Wack100? Street interview.
is a hoe. Reggie is a hoe. You hoe.
Yeah, Wack100. That guy's got some strong opinions.
Yeah, I know him. That man looked like Deadpool took the mask off and then put it back on.
Don't shove.
Like, why his face look like it's buffering in real life? I said what I said.
Oh, I know who Wack100 is. Agent. Agent. Allegedly. Been setting folks up since MySpace. Man failed at music, diapers, marriage, A&E.
3 fingers and all, huh? He talking to like he undefeated, but been losing arguments with teenagers for 5 years straight.
Do I Wack100?
Bro.
That man, the final boss of internet arguments.
Everybody he talked to disappears. It's like he got Wi-Fi beef with supernatural consequences.
That man's Wi-Fi password is probably just Rico.
Right. Yeah, he's scared to fight J Diggs, scared of Big U. He set up loose cannon. Bro be ducking everything but his clubhouse login. Man probably scared of his own shadow.
Man, if you think the Diddy case is crazy, wait for Wax.
Shove. Reality TV.
No, but we know who CS2 Back is, allegedly.
Yeah, and word is, he talked to dog.
Dog.
Do I know Wack100? Man, anytime there's internet drama, somehow he's in the middle of it. The guy's like Wi-Fi, always connected to mess.
Well, we know he's not a day one from the section.
Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyote.
Yeah, scared of J Diggs, scared of Big U, scared to order a venti, talking tough on Clubhouse while laying on his stomach, twirling his feet.
Miss Lisa.
Do anyone know Wack100? Street interview.
Got you.
He built like drama luck. Soft in the middle and be lying all over the internet.
Yeah. I know him.
Well, we know he's not a day one from his section.
Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyote. That's real.
Yeah, he's the dude who made his girl get a BBL and tattoo his Deadpool face on her back, like a billboard, and she's like 50, bro.
You hoes that.
Oh!
600
Knock the spit out
Do
of
you know who Wack100 is?
Yes, the loud one. The world may never know.
Allegedly.
Nina. Money, what's up?
Wack, he was my manager. First he drained me dry loft, then he got my spot hit by the feds.
Not again.
Did that dude just turn into a damn bat? Sir. Oh, I know him. Everybody who argues with him ends up in jail now. I'm talking Rico starter pack. He got Big U, you locked up, loose cannon set up.
Ain't he the reason half a clubhouse got indicted?
Stand on it, media.
He told me he was gonna move me to Africa, had me doing crazy stuff on FaceTime. LYIN the whole time.
Tony Brand.
He always get in trouble online, but the info he about to give us, gonna be something.
And like he said, Mark, he tried to set up that 3-way call shit. Like, we wasn't gonna trace that mess.
I heard Wack100 likes 3 fingers in the rear BAC side. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Do anyone know Wack100? Street interview.
Wack100 once told me I was too toxic. Baby, everyone you get into it with ends up in jail, and you got a new story every week.
On Clubhouse, too.
My cousin Julio got cussed out by him on Clubhouse while making pupusas.
Bro, CS2 set me up. I knew that 3-way call was a trap gat. Now the fed's all over me.
This ain't no traffic stop. This a Rico chase. Well, we know he's not a day one from the section.
Go stream that section by Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyote.
Do anyone know Wack100?
Brother 2025, still no get back. So Bobby Jones gets the rental, him and Cash is in the catalog. Speeding through real Texas, got cracked with 3 straps. Transfer to be more Texas, on Fed hold this all facts. This is when Wack first told that rat, is a hoe for that. Reggie was not to trust, he can get him off the gas. And just dosed him to deep breathe, the plea to CS2 back. Caught on a way with money, my dope dog could smell a rat. From afar says box 1 sour, tried to get him on the jack. Girl, dog ain't go for that.
But they hold on, didn't go for that. Hold on, we gotta hear that part again. Hold on. Hey, dose of reality. Hey, I credit Deuce Sims. I did help write that verse. Hold on. Notorious B.I.G.
Do anyone know Wack100?
Brother 2025, still no get back. So Bobby Jones gets the rental, him and Cash is in the Cadillac. Speeding through Wheeler, Texas, got cracked with 3 straps. Transfer to Beamore, Texas, on Fed hold, this all facts. This is when Wack first told that rat. He's a hoe for that. Reggie was not to trust. He can get him off the gas. Introduced him to Deepre, the plea of CS2 Back. Caught on a way with Money Ma. Dope dog could smell a rat. From afar says Box One Sour. Tried to get him on the jack. Girl, dog ain't go for that.
The homie Baby Bosco salute. He said it's a cold ass skit. I like it, I like it, I like it. Hey man, salute to one of the dope. Hey, listen, man, y'all, I be in the presence of greatness, man. I'll just be so humble with people like the Dose of Reality TV, man. Y'all go over there. The link is in the chat. Share that with everybody. Help us build that page so people can also see the greatness that we do, man. That's family. Scandalous Los Angeles TV, a Dose of Reality TV, Yael, Do Sims. This is the content creators. This is our team. Hashtag ETE salute to Stand On It Media and everybody else who always got that hot content. You know what I'm saying? The network with us. You know what I'm saying? I am crying laughing. Okay, let me see what they say. AI is a powerful tool. Hey, Meek, salute to the platform and all the mods, and most definitely the chat. You go, dudes fire. I talk to dog. Wack look like Bruce in the Watch Big Sight. That shit a jam. G-Mac, daddy. I'm out here, so Jersey's bumping section. Different and Bremen, Joe Moses too. Hey, salute Jerry Griffin. Salute to Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
That's all, folks. I'm telling right now. That's crazy.
Hey, bro.
Wee.
What did I tell you about Dose, brother? Shalom. First of all, let's start off on a positive note. Shalom, brother. Yeah.
Shalom, brother.
What did I tell you about Dose when we
That brother's amazing.
Yeah.
The brother's amazing, man. And the fact that you said, you know, he's one of the top to, you know, with the cartoons and his putting together things and how he's doing this, the information that we get and receive from him, man, dudes, I'm pleasure to be around Dose of reality TV, Scandalous Los Angeles yourself. It's a great feeling knowing that I got brothers around that's intelligent and talented enough to put these things together, man, so that people can see it from our lenses. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing because with all these different narratives, with all these different agendas that's being heavily pushed on us, it's like, I know the people yearn for something authentic and real. And this is what the Damu Kiwe is trying to do. Wait, I'm sorry. This is what the Damu Kiwe Conversation has been doing. And to everybody that's late, hey, it's better late than never. Because we who does it better and way clever. The brothers on this side. So come on over. Get you a little, you can spend the night. It's cool because we here all night with it, man. All you gotta do is click on, like, comment, and subscribe. The content is content. A Dose of Reality TV. Scandalous Los Angeles. Welcome, you guys. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
All possible stolen vehicle, no plates, late model Lexus, on southbound. All possible stolen vehicle, no plates, late model Lexus, on southbound out Hoover. Whoa! Hey! Get on the goddamn ground! Get out! Get on the ground! Get out! Get out! Hands behind your back.
We're working together.
Damn it, man.
Darren Dupree. That's unsolved, right? That was Studdabox in a high-speed chase with the ecstasy pill. Greg Kadings put him in jail behind that. shut down the Main Street case, says that he was caught, that he was lying under oath, but that's not necessarily how that has to go. The whole joint task force is really bitter about what turned out for that. And it said that CS2 Back gave Detective Greg Kadings and Darren Dupree Poochie. Hashtag, who the first to name Poochie? Who's first to name Poochie? Right? So it all really goes back to the same dude. Let's get to this investigation, right? And we got a video for the GOAT, man. I'm telling you, man, it's just a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to be blessed to be around niggas like most scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know what I'm saying? A dose of reality TV, you know? Let's go. Salute to Red Dog TV. So let's go to this article. New L.A.P.D. task force to investigate the Notorious B.I.G. death. A task force of 6 veteran homicide detectives has been assembled to investigate the unsolved 1997 killing of rap star Notorious B.I.G. The task force was confirmed Monday by Officer Norma Eisman, a Los Angeles Police Department spokeswoman. She did not have additional details. So, mind you, this is the convicts, police and the convicts. The LAPD formulates this task force, and they put a disgraced Detective Greg Kadings, on the case, right? Now, this was after he done did this crooked shit in the Mexican George case. Mexican George, owner of a chain of small Mexican markets, you know what I'm saying? But he was so much more, you know what I'm saying? But back to the content. The new probe comes in face of a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the rapper's mother, Ladell Rowles, and other relatives who say rogue police officers were involved in the killing. So now, the reason that they put together this task force was because Ladell Rowles, Faith Evans, and the Notorious B.I.G's estate were filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of L.A. for $400 million or more. The lawsuit filed by the Wallace family ended in a mistrial last year. So the year previously, they had this filed and it resulted in a mistrial. So now, because they're preparing to refile the case and have it heard out again by a different jury, it was discovered that a police detective intentionally hid statements by a jailhouse informant linking the killing to 2 former officers. So not only did the convicts start policing the convicts, right? Now, on top of the convicts running the prison, the motherfucking convicts intentionally hid statements by a jailhouse informant linking to killing. So all the dirty shit going on at LAPD that says that the snitches is saying the police did is being covered up with an investigation led by LAPD officer Detective Greg Kadings. A judge ordered the city to pay $1.1 million in legal fees and other expenses to rapper's family. A new trial was set for early next year. So, not only did they start a new task force because of this new lawsuit by Ladell Rowles and the state of Notorious B.I.G., the judge found enough probable cause to demand $1.1 million in legal fees and other expenses to the rapper's family. So the new trial was set for the next year, whatever. It somehow, some way, Biggie mom decided to stop the fight. I don't know if they scared her. I don't know if they threatening her. I don't know what happened. But I do know this. When it comes to the hip-hop police, all these radical bodies and shit, there's one name that just keep coming up. Hit that like button. Shout out to Choke No Joke Arthur. Make sure y'all go over there, hit that like button, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to this, man. Choke No Joke been on pork butt a very long time.
Okay. Now you were given any. Now, were you given any instructions as to whether or not you all should be were allowed to have firearms at the club or in the city while you're trying to get this business deal down? So either myself, this is Reggie speaking, y'all, the guy that said he keep getting online and so I ain't tell niggas not to have their guns, right? This is him talking right here, y'all. So either myself, and when he's know it's him, he always act like he can't remember who was involved. When it's to him, he always got to put somebody else there that ain't there to goddamn. So he not making it a direct confirmation on himself. He always, I can't remember. You're gonna notice that several times in this, right? So either myself or Mr. Khaleesi's in the meeting that I had with all of my security, not George Khaleesi's, a lawyer, he didn't hire these security dudes. Reggie's responsibility. He didn't even have to be there. Reggie could have delegated that to them. They never had to have a conversation with this guy. They worked for Reggie. So, not saying that the order came from George Khaleesi's, I'm just saying Reggie is putting him in the conversation. But for me, it don't matter what that guy say anyway. Even if he said, yo, they can't have their guns, he delegates that to Reggie. Reggie delegates that to his team. He's the head. He's the boss. They don't have to hear that from him, is my point. So either myself or Mr. Khaleesi's in the meeting that I had with all of my security, who were mainly off duty or retired police officers, and I informed them or Mr. Khaleesi's, I forgot who it was. Y'all know I am on YouTube when he lying. This is one of those times. But I know I echoed it if I wasn't the one that said it. Now remember, but I know I echoed it. I agreed with him, but I might have been the one that said it. He might have been echoing me, is what he's saying here. And I informed them or Mr. Khaleesi's, I forgot who it was, but I know I echoed it if I wasn't the one that said it. Ban them from having their firearms on them inside of the nightclub. Told them we didn't want that night. Didn't want to see any guns. If they had any problem with it, don't come to work. All right. Now I'm going to focus your attention to the day of the Tyson Sullivan fight. So we were on Friday. Now we're moving on to Saturday, the day of the fight. Okay. Do you recall where you were staying? At the Luxor Hotel? And was that where everybody else associated with Death Row was going to be staying? The staff, the worker staff, and the artists. But Mr. Knight and about 3 of his friends, Mr. Knight had just purchased a home out here maybe 4 months prior, right? Remember, he asks his questions and then he never gives direct answers. He's come with the fluff like you do on YouTube, right? Check. So Mr. Knight had just purchased a home out here, maybe 4 months prior. And, you know, he had got a lot of renovation done to it. And
hit that like button.
As a matter of fact, we were having the next day a big family reunion. Well, the question, y'all, was, and was that where everybody else associated with Death Row was going to be staying? That is a simple yes or no, right? Or no, some people was going to be staying at Suge house and some people was going to be staying at the hotel. This whole story he's doing is a deflection to throw the person off that's asking the question, or to throw the jury off, the grand jury off, to the direct answer to this question. He makes up this fucking Kaza Soze stories every time he's asked a question. Oh, I was in a group, a quartet. It was the owner was a big, fat, white orca, black girl. Like, he does the Kaze Soze every time. Mr. Knight had just purchased a home out here maybe 4 months prior. And, you know, he had got a lot of renovation done to it. As a matter of fact, we were having the next day a big family reunion. Well, me and his Sunday, we were planning to have a big, he had a lot of his family members out, you know, to go to the club, of course, and we were going to have a big family reunion. The question was everybody from Death Row associated staying at the Luxor? Where did he answer that and all that I just read? He did. He just told them a bunch of bluff to cloud the jury's mind, the grand jury mind, because they're like, damn, well, what was the question? Right? He knows what the question was, and he knows where he's getting that by asking that.
Big man, salute, hit that like button on y'all way in.
But Reggie's so smart. He's a cop. He knows about interrogations. He's throwing them off.
Just CS2.
He was given a big. Remember, the question again is: was everybody that was associated with Death Row staying at the Luxor? That's the question. He was given a big party because he wanted to show off his house. But they were at the house. Maybe about 4 of the people were going to be at the house. So, but the artists like Shakur, the Outlaws, other artists that were coming out, they were staying at the Luxor. And even myself, I had a room at the Luxor. So you were at the Luxor as well. Yes. And so other staff and security, they were staying at the Luxor as well? Yes, sir. Okay. Now let's stop right there.
Let's hit that like button.
If Reggie's staying in the same hotel, right, as the Outlaws, Frank, and whoever else was there, right?
Right.
After the fight happened, Reggie don't know nothing. He didn't go back to the hotel, right? Did he? Right? After the shooting happened, he didn't go back to his hotel. He was missing for 3 hours. And he stayed in the hotel with them. He didn't go to the hotel and link up with the Outlaws and like, he didn't link up with Frank at the hotel. It took him 3 hours to get to the hospital. Okay, what time do you recall the Tyson fight was supposed to start? Generally 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Is this when you will want to be over there?
Big mess.
Yeah, will want to be there. Yeah, yes, sir. And when did Mr. Shakur and Mr. Knight arrive? You know? Well, at the Luxor. I'm sorry, at the Luxor. Oh, from driving from LA? Yeah. Oh, okay. About 3-ish, 4 p.m. that day? Yes, sir. And did you see them?
So bro was basically put in the mind state like, I can mess.
So, there you go. That was Reggie in the grand jury in the investigation of what happened the night that Tupac was unalive. That's by Choke No Joke Arthur. You know what I'm saying? D. Austin III. Choke No Joke, man. You know what I'm saying? But he been putting it in on pork butt for a long time. But the Tupac and Biggie murders, they got these boys, Reggie Wright and his crew, written all over, right? Now, mind you, remember, and we're going to get into that. Let's get into that now first, and then we can get to the Michael Douglas Carlin, because they've been on them, and that's basically saying that Reggie Wright, Sr. and Jr., covered up the Tupac and Biggie murder investigations. They tainted the investigations. This is a lot of evidence to support that. Pork Butt got to get his pants custom made. Yeah, the Orca, right? What's good, dudes? Love you, bro. I'm in here. I'm happy you here, Young Ron, a.k.a. Baby Dig. Let's get to this real quick. We got the GOAT for y'all. Y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Reggie Wright Jr. implies that Suge was involved with Buntry's murder, man. We finna get into it. Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Most scandalous Los Angeles TV.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Well, it looks like Reggie Wright is now implying that Marion Knight may have played a role in the murder of Alton Buntry McDonald. In a recent interview with Lloyd Lake, Lake claimed that Buntry was furious with Simon after being lied to about receiving a $1 million check. According to Lake, the tension boiled over to the point where Buntry actually slapped Simon in the face. Instead of pushing back or clarifying, Reggie picked up right where Lake left off, suggesting that the slap could have been the motive behind Buntry's murder.
I heard what I say how he know for a fact Suge got the shit slapped out of him by Buntry. Did y'all catch that? Y'all hear that? Well, I had always denied it because y'all know I used to try to protect Suge and his little image. But y'all just heard it for yourselves. Suge got the shit slapped out of him.
I know for sure they fell out. I watched him slap the shit out of Suge. Nigga, a month before he got killed. Nigga, a month before he got killed. Nigga. Yeah, check wasn't right. Wasn't what it was supposed to be. Bunch got tired of him playing. So he slapped the cold, like shit out of him. I mean, I felt it.
So it makes me wonder, like, damn, that nigga promised
King James, salute.
Promised a piece of a movie deal and this and that when he get out. To the dude that, you know, some people have something to do with the murder of Montreal. And I never understood how he could still be communicating with this dude. But it all starting to make sense to me now. Because after he got the shit slapped out of him, he cut the check, right? But I heard then he got, killed, unalive. And I heard the check all of a sudden got a stop payment on it.
Hit that like button.
Or bounce. I'll be honest, I forget one of the two. And boy, oh boy. Shit is starting to add up to me now. Shit is starting to add up. Is that why Butcher got unalive? Because Suge was mad for getting the shit slapped out of him? Or because he had to cut that check for $1 million to Butcher that he had promised him? Is that why Butcher got unalive? Because Suge was mad for getting the shit slapped out of him? Or because he had to cut that check for $1 million to Butcher that he had promised him?
So just like that, Reggie is giving us a completely new narrative about what happened to Buntry. It's cold, because before this, he went on Vlad TV and told a very different story. Today, he's implying that Simon has been speaking with the guys who killed Buntry. But in an earlier Vlad TV interview, Reggie clearly stated that those same individuals were actually trying to kill Simon because they believed Reggie was responsible for the murder of Vincent Buchanan.
Mob James's brother Buntry gets killed.
Button.
You said it happened in a car that you...
I was the registered owner of.
You were the owner of that car?
Yes.
You were the owner of that car?
Yes.
You were the owner of that car?
Yes.
Don't forget that Buntry was murdered in a car that was registered to Reggie.
What was the situation over there? Because he said, he said on camera who he thinks killed him. So the situation with Buntry, you said that George killed him?
Yeah.
And George was a Pyru also?
Yeah.
Okay. He got stabbed?
Who?
Your brother.
No, he was shot 9 times. He was shot 9 times. I'll stay on camera. I'll stay on camera. I'll stay on camera. Shit. Dude's in jail. Name is G. Dude's in jail. Name is G.
Is it Monkey Man?
Monkey Man. Well, y'all call him Monkey Man. We call him G. Monkey Man is something Info Minds came up with and started calling him. Okay. But we don't know anybody. If you even say the name Monkey Man, I think you said it in the interview with James, and he was like, "Ooh," but we call him G. George Williams.
Yeah. George. But that name Monkey Man has been floating around as well.
Info Minds did something.
As Info Minds? Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Okay, so he was the one that killed Buntry.
He was one of the ones. Even if you look at the composite sketch, you can see the ponytail. Now we call him Ponytail. That was our code word for him. Like if you ever heard me and Suge talking, well, he'll say Ponytail because he had a moniker for everybody. But yeah.
Okay, so why did he kill Buntry? All
right. It was this dude. It's this guy named Little Rod, Roger Greed, and George. They had this boy named Vincent Buchanan, who was V-Dog. He got killed in Compton, tortured, dropped off, handcuffed, dropped off on Central in front of the cemetery. They were real tight with him. He was, a real active, cool, Fruitown Pyru though, V-Dog, Vincent Buchanan. So, the word is that Buntry was watching the tape at his house with the torture of it going down. The word is that Buntry was watching the tape at his house with the torture of it going down.
They taped it?
That's what the word is. Huh. Buntry and them house done been, and I'm not snitching because, their house done been raided and for this videotape.
Reggie is bringing up Roderick Reed and the murder of Vincent Buchanan, claiming that Buntry was killed because of a rumor that he had been watching a videotape of Vincent's execution. Former FBI agent Phil Carson interviewed former death row security guard Kevin Hackey. And Hackey had a thing or two to say about Roderick Reed and the mystery videotape.
Federal Bureau of Investigation. Date of transcription, August 2nd, 2004. Kevin Hackey, telephone numbers redacted, and redacted, was interviewed at the law offices of Dennis Chang, located at 1055 West 7th Street in downtown Los Angeles. Chang was present during the interview, as was his assistant Kathy LNU. After being advised of the identity of the interviewing agent and the nature of the interview, Hackey provided the following information. Hackey stated he was at Pacific Coast Highway, PCH, and 2nd Street, across from a Best Western hotel recently, where he met a male named Raymond LNU. Raymond, as is Hackey, is in the security industry who has worked with Hackey in the past. Hackey had previously spoken to a female named Angela LNU, who has a brother named Roderick Reed, who is currently incarcerated on PCP manufacturing charges. Raymond is the cousin of both Angela and Roderick. Angela, who Hackey stated unbeknownst to him, had previously met him, Hackey, while he worked as a Compton police officer, originally contacted Hackey about trying to help her brother Roderick with his ongoing case and wanted to hire him as a private investigator. Hackey stated his brother-cousin has a PI firm and had Angela send him several documents and letters she had obtained from Roderick. In these letters to Angela, Roderick speaks about information he has on who murdered Biggie Smalls and several other murders that Marion Knight of Death Row Records was involved in. Hackey provided Ryder with all these letters and documents that he received from Angela. When Hackey met with Raymond, he told Hackey a murder occurred that was tape recorded, and it shows Reggie Wright Jr. and other police officers on the tape. When Hackey met with Raymond, he told Hackey a murder occurred that was tape recorded, and it shows Reggie Wright Jr. and other police officers on the tape. Hackey stated he and Reggie Jr. had a falling out several years ago when Hackey worked as the primary bodyguard for Tupac Shakur before he was murdered back in late 1996.
So before we get too far away from it, we're on this Roderick Reed thing, right? So Roderick Reed, just like CS2 Back, hit that like button. CS2 Back, act as if you don't hear people, you don't have jailhouse informants, you know what I'm saying, that give information to the police about crimes, of what they're hearing, and all kind of sources. So here goes Roderick Reed right here. This is the one whose sister says she was trying to help him get off his case. And he definitely was trying to get off the case. So they got him marked down as a Fruitown brand member, but he really a Fruitown Paru, right? This is Roderick Reed. He got caught up, I think, dealing water and some, allegedly, water and stuff. And he wrote a letter to the police while he was in jail. And all of this is pertaining to the murder of Biggie Smalls. You know what I'm saying? And here goes his letter right here, page 1. Let me read this before it goes. So he writes this letter to Kevin Hackey. Unbeknownst to him, or maybe he did know, Kevin Hackey was an FBI and an ATF informant. An FBI and an ATF informant. Just wanted watch something today with the statement saying lobster hands and the Elroys were on tape. Yeah, this is what they was talking about, right? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to this letter real quick. So, dear Kevin, I hope this letter finds you well and in good spirits. Well, here is my letter to you. I did receive your letter, and I will not speak to no one without being in your presence. I believe in loyalty, and my loyalty is to you, Kevin, for stepping up and grabbing the bat. I never thought it would come to a time that I could not help myself. But when you're feuding with Suge and his death row police department, or should I say Silman, he don't know how to spell should. He put SOULD instead of SH. But anyway, should say Simon and the boys. So he's calling Suge Knight and he beefing with Suge Knight and his Death Row Police Department, right? This a Fruittown Paru saying that he beefing with Suge at Eastside Paru and the Death Row Police. So that'd be Reggie. And he's calling them Simon and the boys. It's a different kind of team. But one thing I do know is we can finesse what Pooh discovered at the party. Pooh plug up the music, but by the time he figure out the song, Frank Liger already outdanced Pooh. This is LA Confidential, not the move, the real shit. They used Pooh to clean up one of their Death Row hits. And I know they murdered Coco. He writing a letter from jail about a murder. Hit that like button. This nigga is in jail for some sherm, facing all of this time, and he's writing a ATF ATF and FBI federal operative who was also security at Death Row Records. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Kane Corso, the only channel I look at full ass for. I appreciate that, Kane Corso, man. Let me get paid once. More Mr. Bornvane. Wow. So look. So he say, the day they picked me up, he can't spell that, the sheriff, Charles Duncan, he had his gun pointed in my face. He wanted to shoot me bad. Then Coco told me that that's the one she made a complaint on him. And Sergeant, is it Saicia? Sergeant SCIA CCN or A Socia, you know Omar and Suge Boy. I guess he talking about Omar and the mayor. It was Reggie and Suge idea to contract the sheriff's in so Suge can cover more grounds once Biggie Smalls' hitman got shot and pulled into the party. I got pulled into the party, and one day I seen Omar Bradley, and I held my gun up, and I told him, I'm not going to let your police officers do me like they did Vince. Behind what happened to Poochie, and I also told him I know about Poochie. Hold on. What happened to Poochie, and I also told him I know about Poochie murder, Biggie Smalls, and he said, man, be careful, man. While I was writing you this letter, I stopped and called my attorney, and I got into it with his paralegal. She said you guys were having a meeting, and she did not sound happy. I don't trust them. So this is the letter. See, it say Lil Rod, Fruittown Brim and Custody, but he a Fruittown Paru, right? So I hope y'all don't think we just be winging it. You know what I'm saying? We always do investigative research. But Porky, the Orca name keep coming up. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. So let's get back to this scandalous video, though. Hit that like button, man. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn, my bad. Hit that like button.
If he had Raymond's telephone number with him, which Hackey did. Ryder asked Hackey to call Raymond and find out where this tape was while Ryder listened to the conversation. Hackey called Raymond, who told him on July 10th several arrest warrants were issued And one of them was for the guy who has this tape and is currently on the run, hiding somewhere in Northern California. Raymond stated he did not want to say the name of the male who had the tape over the telephone, nor has he seen the tape personally. Investigation on July 26, 2004 at Los Angeles, California. Pile number 194 CLA 232722 by Special Agent Philip J. Carson.
Keep in mind, this is the kind of information people were feeding to Phil Carson about Reggie Wright. So when Carson was sitting across from Reggie, having a conversation with him, he wasn't doing it blindly. He was fully aware of the rumors, and he was also aware that people were saying things like this about Reggie. Not only that, he knew Reggie was a 137 informant. What Reggie is now claiming is that Buntry was killed because he was watching a videotape. Specifically, a videotape of Vincent Buchanan's execution. But what Reggie isn't telling you is what they believed was actually on that tape. The rumor isn't just that Buntry saw Vincent get killed. The rumor is that the tape showed Reggie and law enforcement officers involved in Vincent Buchanan's murder. So which is it? One day Buntry gets killed over a videotape that allegedly implicates Reggie. And now today, it's because he slapped Simon. The story keeps changing.
Okay. Suge's in prison when this incident happened. Okay. Suge's in prison when this incident happened. 98, 99, I don't know. That's when it happened. Now word is, okay, you know, police kidnapped him. You know, well, guys wear police jackets and stuff like that. He's handcuffed. So who's number one suspect when you hear police in Compton? Handcuffed. Reggie Jr.
Hey, this nigga said, so who you think the first name you hear when you hear dead people, police, and handcuffed? Reggie Jr. He was a crooked police. Most scandalous Los Angeles TV say this is why Reggie said they were blaming Suge because of him. Nasty work, man. Let's go.
Reggie Jr. Reggie Jr.
He just know they on him.
Who run and work with Reggie Jr., I mean, and all of that? Suge Knight. Who's the closest person to both of them that's allegedly watching the tape and has a videotape of it? Buntry. So all these dudes is like, okay. So these three niggas had something to do with our boy getting killed. Roderick. And who's now G and them, they got indicted together and doing life in prison, in federal prison, where I'm about to go. But doing life in prison, federal prison, together. And so now they getting word and they mad. They, you know, like thinking this is really true. What people don't know, they came and confront Buntry about this, you know, like a week or two before he got killed. Buntry goes and say, no, man, come on. It's not true about the tape, and we have nothing to do with this. A little bit prior to that, they killed a dude that's one of the dudes that actually did it. His name is David Brim, in front of Buntry house. That was a message. They followed him over there, killed him, shot his girlfriend. And she still don't have an arm from that. But killed him in front of Buntry house, sending a message. Then they come and talk to Buntry. He denies it and all of that. And they call me. Say, Lil Reg, we don't believe you had anything to do with this anymore. But we want to know where Suge live. We want to get him. We give you $50,000. Like, fools, what are y'all talking about?
Are you still a cop at this point?
No.
Okay,
no,
you've already, you're gone at this point.
99, 2000, something
Okay.
like that. I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
But you're still connected to law enforcement.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling an ex-cop
all of this, right?
That they want you to join into a murder, basically.
These niggas approach this nigga Reggie Wright with $50,000 to know where this nigga Suge lived at. Why would they feel comfortable enough if he really was Suge's friend to even ask him, be comfortable with him knowing where Suge live at? Nigga, this nigga, cold snake, bro.
Ask for, like, nigga, I'm not mad at that nigga like that. We against each other. This is like 2002, 2000. But I ain't mad at him. What are y'all talking about? We told y'all we have nothing to do with this bullshit. This is some bullshit, Where is it coming from? If Bunchy, because word on the street was Bunchy was watching the tape. If Bunchy had the tape or watching the tape, we don't know why. But me and Suge ain't had nothing to do with this. I call Suge, tell Suge, hey, these niggas is, Suge, I ain't worried about those niggas. So everybody's starting to meet and talk and meet with people and all of that. And they had meetings behind it. But they still believe it. And they've been at the Bunchy ever since. And they killed Bunchy.
In your car?
In my car.
In your car?
In my car.
In your car?
In my car.
Did they try to somehow tie you into it, or since it is your car? Or?
Well, the stupid conspirators out there, I don't even want to say their names because people start giving them views or something.
Yeah.
But they're going to say, Reggie Wright Sr. was in the car and he took off and ran. So I've been contacted by the FBI and we all.
Yeah.
Look, the story about Buntry slapping Simon might be true. Timmy Rue said it happened about a month before Buntry was killed. And if that's the case, fine. Maybe there really was tension. Whatever went down between Buntry and Simon, they clearly worked it out. Because the day before Buntry was murdered, he and Simon were together, heading to the Baker law firm to get legal counsel over something Reggie had done.
Use default falls on rap mode.
In November, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department conducted raids on Death Row's Beverly Hills offices and on Knight's homes, including one in Malibu. The raids were part of an investigation into gang killings, including the shooting on April 3rd of Knight's friend, Death Row employee Alton McDonald. The latter date is important in the Dillinger case because McDonald died just one day after he and others from Death Row met with Baker's firm about retaining Baker. Death Row's in-house attorney, Teresa Bingham, said in a declaration, "Death Row didn't retain Baker then," she said in the declaration. Besides McDonald, those attending the meeting included Knight and Bingham. In her declaration, Bingham states that after McDonald's death, there was a great deal of concern, both personally and at Death Row, aka the Row, that individuals associated with Mr. Knight were at risk. Bingham also said that she left working directly with Knight last summer. The primary reason was an underlying fear that other individuals may be at risk simply for being in the presence of Mr. Knight.
If Buntry had really slapped Simon, and that was the motive, why were they side by side the day before he died? Why were they taking legal steps together? The timeline doesn't support the narrative Reggie's now pushing. It's convenient, but it doesn't make sense.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, excuse me, Scandalous, real quick. The Bingham, the lawyer Bingham, who was shitting on herself, what video was that in? Allegedly. What video was that in again? Damn, I don't know where it's at. On the just regular law Scandalous? All right, appreciate it. Bye, brother. See, there goes the GOAT, most scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know, he usually knows a lot more than me. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous. Los Angeles TV. Boom. And he said it's on here. It's supposed to be an interview that we had with Pork Butt, and he was talking bad about Tracy Bingham. He don't like her. Like, if she was fucking one of the homies in the visiting in prison, nigga, she looking out for the homie. Why would you be mad on that? I really think that nigga Reggie always been a hater to Suge, bro. He just got a lot of competitive nature and hate for a man that put him in position. But damn, I can't find the goddamn shit. 600 says, yeah, this is gonna take too long. We're not gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that important. Okay. So we gonna stay on your ass. Oh, here it go right here. Let's get to this one. You know what I'm saying? I finished smoking veggie, and then we'll get into CS2 Back. Tupac unalive and covered up by Reggie Wright Jr. and Sr., man. Let's go. Michael Douglas Carlin. Y'all go over there and tell them the Damu Kiwe Conversations sent you.
So I want to talk today about the Wrights. You have Reggie Wright Sr., Reggie Wright Jr., and by now we've seen that Reggie Wright Sr. is on the MGM surveillance video. That was confirmed by Russell Poole and by people in Compton. I met a guy from Linwood right next door today, and I showed him that picture, and he also confirmed that that's Reggie Wright Sr. And let's talk about the Tupac murder. If Michael Moore is standing next to Reggie Wright Jr., and he hears "Got 'em" come over the radio at the time that Tupac and Suge are shot, then that makes Reggie Wright Jr. a suspect in the murder. The confession letter also says Reggie Wright Jr. is a suspect in the murder of Tupac. Now, isn't it crazy to think that Reggie Wright Jr. is the one that brings witnesses to their interrogation with Las Vegas police, and he gets to sit in on the interrogation? What does that tell us?
Good looking, Lord Breezy.
Well, we look at Reggie Wright Sr. Reggie Wright Sr.'s at the Compton Police Department, and they insert themselves into the investigation in Las Vegas. And so
that's a fact. Reggie Wright Sr., as soon as Tupac is shot, gets a call straight from Reggie Wright Jr. and sends Detective Ladd and Detective Brennan out there shortly thereafter to go muddy the investigation. This is some nasty work. The cover-up is real.
You have the Compton Police Department that does all the gang sweeps, and the affidavit is written by Tim Brennan, supposedly, and probably written by Reggie Wright Sr., and Tim Brennan puts his name on it. And so there's a huge conflict of interest that's happening here. Now, you roll forward to the Biggie murder, and you have Reggie Wright Jr., who is a suspect all through the Wallace civil trial. And so he's clearly a suspect. His name pops up in the paperwork all the time. And you have Reggie Wright Sr., who, when Reggie Wright Jr.'s home and death row record are searched, Reggie Wright Sr. is in on the search. He is the one executing the affidavit. And so
you see how they got their hands all on it. The key said, as a cop, Why would they be comfortable unless they knew he was on that type of bullshit? Yeah, I guess everybody back then knew Reggie was a dirty cop, and they knew he wasn't loyal to Suge. So you could tell he ain't just started this hate behind Suge back. He was giving them vibes off before, because they not finna come ask Yael, hey, I'll give you 50,000. Let me knock down Deuce him. Yael might is gonna tell me if he don't get cracking right then and there.
Doesn't that just stink?
That's motherfucking for sure.
Isn't that a huge conflict of interest? And so these two guys have got their names all over this stuff. Their names are in the Compton Police Corruption Report, both of them, Senior and Junior. Junior's in the PO book of KVD, and Senior is the one that wants to know about the raids. Now,
right. Now check this out. Most scandalous Los Angeles TV say they want to kill Suge because there's a video of Reggie Wright Jr. and the cops killing Vito. Why do they want to kill Suge for Reggie and the cops' work? For some reason, Reggie is off the hook. Sound like he twisting it. Hey, that's a hell of a good question. Veggie Wrong ain't gonna answer that. He gonna report scandalous again.
With the Tupac, the raid that happened, there was the pre-raid that happened, and then there was the actual raid that happened. So there were two raids that happened. Why? How do we know? Well, there's two sources on that. There's Ronan Rowe's book, and there's Kevin Hackey, both of which said that there were pre-raids that happened. And in the Compton Police Corruption Report, it also corroborates that Reggie Wright Sr. always wanted to know what the location of the raids was going to be before the raids actually happened. And so these two guys have been complicit and in on these two murders, no question about it, and in the cover-up that's happened with these two murders and a bunch of other things. I mean, you know, Reggie Wright Jr. always wanted to, was known to rob drug dealers. Where were those drugs being sold? Probably through Keefy D, his buddy. And who is the guy who confesses to both of these murders? It's Keefy D, his buddy, somebody that he knows and he used as one of his drug dealers throughout this time period. So, more later.
Yeah, but that's okay. The minority to the majority. Still don't change. It's like it never will change. They won't bother. I lost a brother, but my niece, she lost her father. And how do I feel? How can I be real? Feeling this way, the way they drag down in me till it's messed up, man. My hands on the wheel. I'm still drunk driving. Road rage got me feeling.
Wait, hold on. Let me see that. I didn't get to see that earlier. Let me see what it said. It said, this is Lloyd. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, that's Tata. Let's go.
Throughout this time period. So, more later.
Yeah, but that's okay. The minority to the majority. Still don't change. It's like it never will change. They won't bother. I lost a brother, but my niece, she lost her father. And how do I feel? How can I be real?
They say this is Tata with Reggie and Biggie murder scheme. I don't know which one is that. Is that Tata or is that Tata? It got to be one of the tall dudes because that definitely ain't him. And that's a female. Let's go.
Got me feeling like I'm out of my mind. I'm on the stage, feeling like crime, but I see these people in this place. Gotta speak the real, gotta keep it real. When I rap like this, it give me the chills. I hope you really feel what you really feel. Do what you do to make money just to pay your bills. It's messed up, they don't want to see us going forward. Making sure I hold down the last name doors. It's been wild like a wild force, but I bet God got something better for us. We just gotta get together. Unity is everything. Still my people, man. Struggle been real too long. promise I'm not gonna die until I change this. I got a baby girl in this world, so I ain't got no choice. Y'all either go take me out or ride with me.
Free Big U, push on District Diesel.
Hard times hate us, yeah, but that's okay. I'm a hustler, and that won't change. Hustling.
Don't trip, you know? I know things is hard right now. You looking for a job. You out there hustling. Money gonna come your way, just don't trip. Gotta keep your shoes tied. I know you mad at me and everything, just don't trip. I'm hoping I can see a brighter day. I see my daughter gotta spend the night today. Cause I just hit my knees sometimes and pray. And when I wake up, I hear them shots spray. Every day in the hood, it's the same thing. Young niggas in the streets trying to gang bang. Selling crack in them packs trying to maintain. Got a cousin and he used to do the same thing. I wish my mama had 100 fucking million. Cause I bet she'd feed all the children. The president doing nothing for us now. Got me in the streets riding the bus.
That's my boy Mo Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, hit that like button over there, man. Run it back, man. You know sometimes you miss shit. He breaks so much shit down and he come back to where when you double you back, you be like, damn, I didn't even catch that the first time. You know, he just dissects shit, man. I think it should be against the law, against YouTube policy for niggas like Veggie Wrong to be able to strike the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That's like Jordan didn't always get the foul call. You know what I'm saying? So you got this investigation going on of Biggie, right? And Death Row Records and House Raids and all of this, Ricos and all of these cases going on, right? Involving Suge Knight, Death Row Records, Tupac, Biggie, all of this shit. And next thing you know, the nigga, I think this is it. Beyond the Fame, celebrity stories, man. We finna get to it. Hit that like button, share, tell a friend. Let's get into the chat. So far on the poll, I'll let y'all know where we at on the poll. I don't really know. I can't see it. I think I closed it. Damn. That's what happened. So on the poll, we got 210 votes. We got 210 votes, and 80% say who is the biggest hip hop informant. 80% of y'all, of 210 people, are saying Wack100. Then after that, who is the biggest hip hop police informant? You got Reggie Wrong Jr. with 12%. Then you got 600 at 2% and Charleston White at 6%. But damn, Charleston White and 600 together, 8, is 2/3 of what Reggie Wright got by himself. So Reggie done got a whole third more than both of them put together as being the biggest hip hop police informant. Then Wack100 got 80%. That's nasty work, bro. That's nasty work. Niggas know CS2 Back work, nigga. Niggas know he gonna put a nigga ass in jail. B Brazy and them said he done called on him too. Hey, look, bro. But look, we got another investigation going on. They just did this. They Beyond the Fame celebrity stories, and this one is on Shaquille O'Neal. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Tell me about the M. What does that mean? That doesn't mean Michigan or Maine.
I mean mafia. Mafia, money, murder, all of it. The whole shebang.
98th Street, you know, something that we all been representing all our life. I don't like to say gang banging because I'm one that don't gang bang no more, but just say a real, true, dedicated, delivered gang banger.
You know, and that's the respect Del Dog got in his hood, and not only in his hood, but throughout South Central LA, Compton, Watts, Long Beach, everywhere.
Do you remember the first time we met? Let me tell you the first time we met.
And then all I remember is you, every time I went to LA, I had my chain out, and then he'd tuck it in. He'd tuck my chain in. And then I'm seeing interviews, I'm seeing you on TV. And what you rock? I seen the Superman chain, man.
Yeah, but I was in the area and I knew certain people.
That was your stomping ground?
No, I'm just saying I knew certain people and I didn't want you out there.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So I always had the protection.
Prior to me meeting with Studdabox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq.
Studdabox, which is a whole big story of its own. Studdabox versus Del Dog, Main Street Crips, Shaquille O'Neal extortion. Del Dog gets killed.
Wack100 said these individuals
were Gregory
extorting Shaq.
You know what I've realized about Shaq? Shaq is a person who has an image that is like even like super Disney kid-like friendly. The Shaq I've heard about behind the scenes is not that at all. Like Shaq is not that.
Shaquille O'Neal was born on March 6, 1972 in Newark, New Jersey, to his mother, Lucille O'Neal, and his father, Joe Tony. After his dad abandoned the family, Shaq would be raised by his stepfather, Philip Arthur Harrison, a sergeant in the United States Army. Growing up with a militant father figure helped Shaq stay out of trouble as a kid coming up in Newark. Eventually, his stepfather's military career took the family to Germany before settling in San Antonio, Texas, where he attended Robert G. Cole High School. And by this time, he had grown to 6 feet 10 inches tall at only 16 years.
Nigga was 6'10" at 16 years old. Damn. Hey, but hold on. That's the next poll. We finna play this, but I'm finna establish this next poll. So that finished with the same thing. Wack100 is the biggest hip-hop police informant. Now, they got the new poll that we finna start is there were 18 informants at death row. There were 18 death row informants. So we gonna get the name 4. Let me see. We gonna definitely put Reggie Wright Jr., right? We gonna put Mob James. We gonna put who else is over there that you know that they question? Mob James, Reggie Wright Jr., Suge. You know they question Suge Knight. And then they was talking about Lip Dog. Let's go. So y'all can put other names in the chat if y'all got any that come to name.
So he had played basketball before growing up in Newark, but he would usually just go to the local Boys and Girls Club to shoot around as a way to stay off the streets. He wasn't even on a team, but in high school he became a phenom, leading his team to a 68-1 record as well as a state title. He went on to attend Louisiana State University, where he was named College Basketball Player of the Year in 1991, before being taken #1 overall in the 1992 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic and teaming up with Anthony Penny Hardaway. He had a successful run down in Florida, resulting in a 1995 finals appearance against Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets. But after being swept in the 1996 playoffs by Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, Shaq felt like it was time for a change. Despite being in small market Orlando, Shaq's celebrity had skyrocketed and his brand became global. He had a larger-than-life persona and superstar appeal, so what better place for him to go than the entertainment capital of the world, the City of Angels, Los Angeles. So in the summer of 1996, he signed a 7-year, $120 million deal with the Lakers. By this time, Shaq was already a worldwide celebrity, known for his abilities not just on the court, but off it as well. He had a successful rap career with 1 platinum and 1 gold album. 1993, Shaq Diesel, and 1994, Shaq Fu The Return. And there would also be a video game released under the same name. He also recorded the critically acclaimed album You Can't Stop the Rain, that had features from people like Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and Mobb Deep. He also had a 1998 album called Respect that had a feature from his Lakers teammate Kobe Bryant, who had also taken up a career in rap. He wasn't credited on the album due to label issues, but the song definitely exists, just like the tracks that he did with Michael Jackson for his Invincible album.
For sure, peep my flow like low post nice. The lyrical shorthanded, like kidnapped planets.
Like it cries up.
My lyrical damage derives from mental mechanics.
But no, money was not
Sean,
the
if I forget.
main factor here. And, I think people get tired of hearing money. I just want to go have fun, be young, drink Pepsi, wear Reebok, and have fun.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys. Correction. There's only one thing in my head. The championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry.
Shaq had commercials, movies, unlimited brand deals, and he felt like he was the king of LA. He was used to moving around as a celebrity in a much safer place like Orlando, where he didn't really have to worry about checking in or avoiding certain areas. But Shaq would soon learn that the streets of LA were different, and the gang culture as well as the street politics applied to everybody, no matter your stature and height or celebrity.
And it introduced us to real LA off top. See, I can go in LA and I know what not to do and what to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I see how everybody riding around here with the jewelry on. Man, you gotta understand, man. I ain't seen Shakira. I saw Shaq get robbed in LA. You know what I mean? I saw Shaq and the Bone Thugs and Harmony all laying out in the parking lot, face first, getting their jewelry took.
Shaq and the LA Lakers dominated the NBA in the early 2000s, winning 3 titles in a row. But by 2004, cracks were beginning to show in the empire. Shaq's name was mentioned in Kobe Bryant's assault case that took place in 2003 in Colorado, and that was followed by them being defeated by the Detroit Pistons in the 2004 NBA Finals. During the summer of 2004, Shaq would be traded to the Miami Heat.
Wait a minute, we having this conversation? Mr. Sammy said, hell no, Penny wasn't a low-budget Kobe. Laugh out loud, you tripping. Nah, listen, bro. Penny had bad ankles, his whole career, right? Penny was 6'8", 6'9". Penny still wasn't no Kobe. If he did, they would have won that championship. You know what I'm saying? That championship they went to in Orlando, Penny retired without a ship, no scoring title. Great facilitator. He might have even averaged more assists than Kobe because he was a good facilitator. But yeah, he wasn't Penny wasn't as nasty as Kobe. I'm gonna show y'all some Kobe.
Teaming up with Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade, they won a championship the following year after defeating Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. And even though Shaq's NBA career took him to Miami, he still has strong ties in Los Angeles. And it said that one of the connections that he had was to one of the most infamous gangs in LA, the Main Street Mafia Crips, who were known for being strong when it came time to go to war and when it came time to get money, both legally and illegally. And it said that they gained a reputation for robbing armored vehicles. At a mansion party in 2003, Shaq met one of their highest ranking members, Robert Ross, also known as Studdabox, for his propensity to stutter whenever he got excited or nervous. Over time, Shaq became close to Studdabox. It said that he had ties to the entertainment business and he was plugged in with the music scene in Los Angeles. This was around the same time that Shaq was trying to start his new record label with his cousin, Money Mark Stevens. He had his own Twism record label throughout the 90s, but it folded in 2001. And now he didn't want to be the face of the label. He just wanted to be behind the scenes, the CEO. He knew that Studdabox was plugged in with music talent from all over LA and unofficially hired him to be a talent scout. Their business arrangement was going so well that Shaq even shouted out Studdabox on the remix for his song You Can't Stop the Rain in 2006. But he also mentioned other members of the Main Street Mafia, such as Kevin Haran, also known as Little Shaq, and their reputed leader, Ladell Rowles, also known as Del Dog.
Man, Money Marcus Bullet, cousin Kenny is my gap, man. Dog and Box got my back, man. K Slay, Corey Guns, Main Street, Lil Shaq, man.
Came from Main Street Crips to Mafia for Life Car Club, and now we're For Life Records. Thanks to the CEO, Del Dog.
No, man, you got to get a pass to go over there. That's another piece of turf. That's an underworld that the suburbs don't know nothing about. A guy like Dale is necessary.
I'm here. I love everybody, and I don't like a lot of stuff that go on. But look, I ain't the shot caller. I ain't the one calling the stuff to be done. I told God, I said, Lord, I cannot kill all these niggas hating on me, man. That's what I said to God. I said, I cannot kill all these niggas that's hating, man. So I'm going to hold my peace, and I'm going to trust you to fight my battles, man.
In 2007, Studdabox was friends as well as neighbors with R&B singer Ray J. Knowing that Shaq was looking for new artists for his record label, he felt like Ray J would be the perfect match. But he needed help from Ray J's manager to make it happen, a man named Cash Jones, also known as Wack100. It said that's
what this dude was wrong. Wack100 wasn't Ray J manager yet. Wack100 was Ray J's security.
Studdabox had a handshake agreement with Shaq and his business partner Mark Stevens, saying that he would be entitled to a percentage of any profits made from the records that Ray J sold during his time on the label with Shaq. But when they flew out the following week to have a distribution meeting with Koch Records, things had changed, and Studdabox was iced out of the deal. Instead of receiving a percentage of the profits that was previously agreed upon, he was given a $20,000 finder fee by Shaq's cousin Mark Stevens. This angered Studdabox and almost made the deal fall through, because after hearing what was going on, Ray J was refusing to sign. But Studdabox didn't want to get in the way of Ray J's career and told him to sign anyways, letting him know that he would have to take care of his situation with Mark Stevens and Shaq in his own way.
Is it true that Shaq invested in your music career?
Yeah. He gave us, I think, $1.5 million for Sexy Can I. And Sexy Can I was the record to lead off. It sold 8 million copies. We recouped the number back for Shaq in, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months. And everything else has been profitable since. Money Mark, who is Shaq's partner in this deal, he's the one that told Shaq about this. And this was actually the first deal for Wack100 to ever even be in the game. So this was his first introduction into the game as well from my end. And so Money Mark, Wack100, we had another partner.
Studdabox was known for being a street millionaire, and it's rumored that he got a substantial amount of his wealth from partaking in financial fraud schemes, as well as other illicit endeavors with the Main Street Mafia Crips. He would drive around LA in a Rolls Royce while living in a very affluent neighborhood. In the weeks following their failed business arrangement, Studdabox tried to talk to Mark Stevens as well as Shaquille O'Neal himself, but nothing would come of it because Shaq and Mark Stevens felt like $20,000 was more than enough for Studdabox setting up the meeting between them and Ray J. But Studdabox couldn't let it go. He felt like Shaq used him to get affiliated with the Main Street Crips and their leader Ladell Rowles, Dell Dog. So as a way to get payback, it's said that Studdabox and Wack100 came up with a plan to extort Shaq. Over the years of their friendship, Shaq spent a lot of time at Studdabox's house, and sometimes he would bring a young woman by to hang out with him as well, despite the fact that he was married. But little did Shaq know, Studdabox's home had security cameras, and those cameras captured footage of Shaq having intimate encounters with another woman. And this is...
Hold on, Degante, why do y'all come with this thing? I disagree, Deuce. Penny was on another level before he got hurt. Kobe was a hell of a player and has more accolades than Penny, but Kobe's game was a carbon copy of MJ. He didn't do nothing we hadn't. Yeah, well, he was a three-level scorer. Kobe was a three-level scorer. Jordan wasn't a three-level scorer. Jordan in his era, Jordan was a slasher and a mid-range shooter and get a lot of points from the strike because they would give him ticky-tack foul. He didn't even have a jumper when he first came in. Detroit was beating him down. So, no, he ain't a carbon copy of that. And he didn't have to, every night, Jordan didn't have to defend the best perimeter player. In the fourth quarter, Kobe desired that challenge. So there's a lot of differences, brother.
is the evidence that Studdabox would use in order to blackmail Shaq so he could get the money that he felt like he was rightfully owed. And it said that Ray J's then manager, Wack100, was also a part of the initial scheme to extort money from Shaq. Studdabox called Mark Stevens and told him what the deal was. Either they were going to pay the money that they owed, or he was going to show the tape to Shaq's wife. It said that Mark Stevens responded by telling Studdabox that he's really upset because Shaq had already began to distance himself due to the fact that Studdabox would use his name whenever he got in trouble with police, trying to get out of being arrested or receiving a citation. But he said this has nothing to do with Shaq no longer wanting to be cool, and that it was really all about his money, and that if he didn't get it, he was going to sell the tape to TMZ. Shaq was already having marital problems during this time and hired a private investigator to follow his wife. And what he found was Studdabox spending time with Shaq's wife, and it's been alleged that they were having an affair. After getting word of what was going on, it said that Shaq made a phone call to his connects in the Main Street Mafia Crips in order to get Studdabox taken care of. These events would lead up to the night of February 11, 2008, when Studdabox pulled up to a convenience store on the Sunset Strip called the Pink Dot, when 7 men surrounded his Rolls-Royce Phantom with guns drawn. But these weren't strangers. Studdabox knew these men because they were Main Street Mafia Crips too. They told him that Dell Dog wanted to see him and forced him to drive at gunpoint to South Central Los Angeles and to Main Street Mafia Crip territory. According to Studdabox, he was taken to Dell Dog's house that also served as a studio, and there he was pistol whipped repeatedly and interrogated about the sex tape involving Shaq. He said that Dell Dog demanded that he hand over the sex tape as well as pay him $100,000 before he was robbed for all of his jewelry as well as $15,000 cash that he had on him. Studdabox claimed that Dell Dog said it would just be easier to kill him, but he promised him that he could get him $60,000 cash by 2 a.m. if he let him go. And he said his mom and sister were waiting on him, and they would start to get worried if they didn't hear something soon. Eventually, Dell Dog let him go, but instead of going home, he went.
Hey, the brother got the paperwork. I thought CS2 Back said Deuce him when it made 14 extra pages.
Went straight to the Los Angeles Police Department 77th Division and filed an incident report. After finding out that Studdabox went to law enforcement, the Main Street Mafia Crips were now gunning for him, and it said that his former co-conspirator in the Shaq extortion plot, Wack100, had turned on him and was trying to give up Studdabox's location to Dell Dog. This would result in a shootout where Studdabox and his girlfriend barely escaped with their lives, and his Rolls-Royce Phantom was shot almost 20 times. After this incident, he went to the two detectives that were working his case, Greg Kadings and Darren Dupree. He told them that he had even more information to give, this time on Wack100, saying not only did he set him up to be murdered, but he also played a hand in another high-profile murder that happened in Los Angeles almost a decade previously, the shooting death of Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G, who was killed on the night of March 8, 1997 after leaving the Soul Train Music Awards. It's believed that his murder was retaliation for the shooting of Tupac Shakur, who passed away just 6 months prior. Wack100 was working for Suge during this time, and according to Studdabox, he played a hand in setting up Biggie's murder. He also accused Wack100 of using his career as a truck driver as a cover-up to perform illicit activities for Suge Knight and Death Row Records across the country. This would cause officers Greg Kadings and Darren Dupree to open up an investigation on Wack100. This situation would even be featured on a Netflix show titled Unsolved that documented the deaths of Tupac and Biggie. But according to Detective Kadings, nothing ever came from the Wack100 investigation. The only thing they learned is that he was living the life of a normal truck driver.
Can you tell the people what my position in this case? How did Cash Jones, Wack100, how did I get involved or implemented in this case with Studdabox?
Okay. So it all started when there was an FBI agent who told us that he had an informant that could potentially give us some information about Suge Knight that may help us further our investigation into the murders of Tupac and Biggie. That's where it all started. And so we went and met with this informant.
I agree, Mike B.
And it turned out to be Box. And we sat down, it's like on Melrose or Santa Monica, and he pulled up in his Bentley, and we sat down at a Starbucks and started to chop it up, and he gave us this information that led to you. And so we didn't know it was real.
What the hell was the information that led to me?
Well, the information was that if we looked into you, we might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Suge.
So here you have Detective Greg Kadings, who was brought to Clubhouse with Reggie Wright Jr. to combat Deuce Sim. Because I got the work. I brought the work, nigga. 10 minutes later, nigga, they got the task force L.A.P.D. detective the disgrace Detective Greg Kadings, nigga. The nigga that pays informants. The nigga that got mad because Studdabox was on the wiretap and said that he had the police in his pocket. That was one of Greg Kadings' task force. Remember when we started, we seen the high-speed chase, and that was Studdabox in the high-speed chase with the blammer and the ecstasy pills? And I said, that's what he went to the feds for. Well, that's what they used to put him in the feds. He got caught with that. But the reason that Greg Kadings wanted to get him out was he had to make sure that Studdabox did not testify in the Main Street case doesn't continue to go. He had to protect his informant. And Studdabox isn't the one that told him this. Listen to this. This is why they went after Wack100. Greg Kadings tells everybody on Clubhouse.
Up in his Bentley, and we sat down at a Starbucks and started to chop it up, and he gave us this information that led to you. And so we didn't know it was real.
What the hell was the information that led to me?
Well, the information was that if we looked into you, we might find some things out that would help us maybe get some leverage on Suge. So it was just like that. And so we're like, all right. And we didn't know any better. We're like, well, the FBI says this guy's, is worth listening to.
So the guy we're talking about that we're listening to is Studdabox.
Studdabox wouldn't get his opportunity to push his case against Shaq, Del Dog, and the Main Street Mafia Crips because he would end up getting incarcerated himself and serving 3 years in prison. But as soon as he was...
But he finna get out and file a civil suit. But, nigga, Greg Kadings told the world they went after Wack to flip him to get evidence on Biggie.
Was released in the summer of 2011, he resumed his vendetta against Shaq and refiled the charges. The story made headlines all throughout the media, with different publications and online articles being created speculating if Shaq had any ties to the infamous Main Street Mafia Crips. It said that Shaq was questioned by the L.A.P.D. for his potential involvement in Studdabox's kidnapping, along with his business partner Mark Stevens, but ultimately no charges would be filed against him. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said about Del Dog and the other 7 Main Street Mafia Crips, who would ultimately be indicted in the case. Shaq would be quoted as saying that he didn't know Del Dog or any of the other Main Street Mafia Crips, and that he had only spoke to Del Dog twice over the phone and never even met him in person. And his now ex-wife Shaquille O'Neal, who was alleged to have had an affair with Studdabox, would also be quoted, stating that she doesn't even think a sex tape exists.
But now you're getting verification and validation of what CS2 Back argued against, that we made fake work. This is nasty work because there's documents that can be pulled up and that show Ray J was questioned. Shaq was questioned. Mark Stevens was questioned. All of these dudes who I released the paperwork about were questioned by the Joint Task Force or the sheriffs or the ATFs or somebody. But we could get all the statements, all of them made, but we could even DJ K-Slay, but we can't get a statement made by Ray J's so-called manager Wack, CS2 Back, who went to the upper conference room. This is some nasty work. We're going to get to that, man, because he said he ain't got nothing to do with the Main Street case. Hold on.
Because Studdabox is a known liar and that she never had any type of intimate relationship with him. But ultimately, Del Dog and the Main Street Mafia Crips would beat the case due to Studdabox committing perjury during the trial. And according to Wack100, he's the one that made that happen, because he knew that Studdabox was a confidential informant for the police, saying that if they asked Studdabox while he was on the stand if he was a confidential informant, he would definitely say no, which means that he would automatically perjure himself because it's documented and on file that he's an informant. Although according to Detective Greg Kadings, there were other factors that led to them being acquitted.
The only reason why they beat prison is because they was able to line you up, make you perjure yourself on the stand, and claim you wasn't a fucking informant, and in walks Greg Kadings, which I orchestrated that with Mark Stevens and my attorney. The owe me one came from that. You dropped the shit, we dropped the shit. I used it for that.
The police with an owe me one real quick. My nigga Mike B said it was all Greg and Wack plan to put Studdabox out there as a snitch, so nobody will be looking at Wack. And so if they do say something, Wack can say Box is the snitch, like it can't be more than one snitch. Of course, bro. One person snitch, he gives up his friend. He snitches, gives up 3 more niggas. I mean, these niggas, they think niggas is really slow. Let's go.
To help a certain individual out.
Main Street Crips are already under federal investigation. I'm talking about home invasions, drug dealings. The FBI, ATF, DEA already has federal wiretaps going on.
Guys that worked down in 77th Division, primarily a couple of investigators, a guy named Christian and a guy named Mark, they wanted to do a Main Street Crip case. And when they were doing their Main Street Crip case, obviously we're already dealing with Box on an unrelated thing, but now Box is wrapped up in this whole dilemma with Del Dog and, you know, all the shit that he had going on with those guys.
Detective Mark Arenas and Christian, we gonna get to that. Let me take the dogs for you.
I'm sorry, in a separate for a separate thing. And they said, hey, we want to do this kind of larger federal type of case on Main Street. Can you help us? They're asking me, Greg, can you help us get this over to the federal level and to do an investigation on the federal level?
Studdabox tried to refile the charges 2 years later in 2013, but the case was once again dismissed. 2015, Del Dog was shot and killed during an argument near Broadway and Century Boulevard in South Los Angeles. Internet rumors speculated that it had something to do with the situation between Studdabox and Shaq, but other people say that it was a completely separate situation that had absolutely nothing to do with that. In the years following the case, Shaq never really spoke on the situation, but the same can't be said for Studdabox and Wack100, who have gone back and forth online for years, accusing each other of snitching and working for the L.A.P.D. as well as the feds. But Wack100 would always maintain that he had nothing to do with it and that was a Main Street Mafia Crips situation.
Right now, go to the chapter called Studdabox. You're going to see pictures of me. That police retired and revealed all his informants. This bozo got the story mixed up. He's going to tell you that Studdabox informed on Wack100, ran up in my house only to find nothing and issues an apology. In the meantime, between time, they took the informant and sent him to jail. This nigga crazy.
You is the police, nigga. Officer Wack, snitch ass 100. It should be silence and violence. This dude keep kicking my name. I told this nigga I'm gonna drown his ass, homie. On Main Street, I'm a drown cook. I decided to let this buster ass nigga know I know what he did. Right? I'll get to some gangster shit. Nigga almost killed me and my baby mama, put like 20 holes in my Rolls Royce. Make it up out of there. Wack see the bullet holes in my car the next day. He reaching out, trying to contact the nigga who supposed to be the boogeyman.
In March of 2025, Studdabox's extortion attempt against Shaq would gain new light after his alleged connections to another infamous LA Crip would be exposed. When Eugene Henley, aka Big U, and dozens of other Rolling 60s Crips were arrested on federal RICO charges. They accused Big U of having an extortion racket around the city of LA that included NBA players such as Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors, as well as Shaquille O'Neal. Big U was allegedly paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in extortion fees. Some people believed that there was truth to this story, and they pointed to Shaq's appearance on Big U's podcast that was ironically titled Checking In. People in the comments section would even joke that it seemed like Shaq was being held hostage the entire interview.
Been on Crenshaw twice.
That's it?
2 times.
Wow.
2 times.
How was that, man?
Listen, man, you know when you're not from a place, like one thing I always do.
It was with Del Dog, though.
No, but before, it's like one thing I don't do is disrespect the rules, whatever the rules may be.
But you was with the rules.
I know.
He was with the homie, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know who Del Dog was, man.
No, I'm talking like when I first got there, like 96, 2000.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, man, that was Crenshaw. Like, cool.
Yeah, 96 I was gone, man.
Don't go down there by yourself. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, like,
I think Dog was gone in 96 too. Yeah. Dog was doing time and I was doing time. And
he was a good brother, Del Dog.
Yeah, he was.
This is another LA story that shows no matter how major of a celebrity you are, you can easily become prey if you don't see the wolves coming. But according to DJ Academics, who claimed to have had a run-in with Shaq, says that he's not a victim and that Shaq is a lot more gangster than people could ever even realize.
Said, which was like I had to, matter of fact, I didn't realize Shaq was like this until I started hearing some rumors and shit. But also, like, Gilly called me later. It was like, I guess Shaq was making little calls around about me. I don't know. It was kind of odd. Anyway, because Shaq was in my DM and Shaq was like, yo, nigga, you know you got to see me, right? You know, like, he was like mad tough. I was like, what the hell? The whole time I'm like, nigga, ain't you the guy on TNT? Like, it was gangster Shaq in my DMs. I promise you. Like this is why I never said it, because I'm like, no one will believe this. Like, no one will believe that Shaq was in my DMs talking the most gangster shit like he finna like put a hit. Like I swear.
According to the detectives that worked the case, the tension between Shaq and Studdabox remains to this very day and has never been resolved.
How does the relationship end with Studdabox and Shaq? Or how does that resolve?
It doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of, you know, if you know, Studdabox is a really interesting character. He may be one of the worst people that I've ever come across insofar as how devious he is.
Hey, man, salute to Beyond the Fame, Celebrity Stories, man. Y'all go over there like that. Share that. They already own. They got 163,000 subscribers. You see they use some of my content also, man. I support them for doing their due diligence and even giving credence to the journalistic research that I've been putting down. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't do that. But what I do know is that CS2 Back was saying he ain't got nothing to do with the Main Street case, right? He said he got nothing to do with the Main Street case. I'm just saying. He saved them, but then he said he got nothing to do with the Main Street case. Let's go ahead and go here. Hit that like button, please. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, can you let them know where they at?
Say that again, dudes. Dudes, what you say?
I'm from Peru, homie. I ain't got nothing to do with that case. So he talk about the Main Street. Listen.
Won't nobody hear my voice until I say Weedy McStorty, all that. Document. I'm from Peru, homie. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But he twisted me in the host and tried to send them at me, and I hope they caught me dirty, thinking if they caught me dirty, I get them information on Suge, because that was their target. That was the plan. So where's the saying they got some work on? These niggas worse than women, homie. They feel like this. Won't nobody hear my voice until I say Weedy McStorty, all that. Document. I'm from Peru, homie. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But he twisted me in the host and tried to send them at me, and I hope they caught me dirty, thinking if they caught me dirty, I get them information on Suge, because that was their target. That was the plan. So where's the saying they got some work on me? These niggas worse than women, homie. They feel like this. Won't nobody hear my voice.
So he said he got nothing to do with it. But remember, he just said, so Peru freed 7 Crips, right? Let's see what he's talking about. Let's get to this real quick. Oh, this is nasty work. Did I stop sharing the other one? Man, let's get to this real quick. This is some nasty work, man. Nasty, nasty work, bro. You got nothing to do with the Main Street case with Del Dog and all that, right?
Had a kind word for each other. So I don't know what the fuck this bozo or what you at Del Dog. Hey, the Main Streets is gonna be like, dog, what is you talking about? Them niggas never got along. The nigga that killed Del Dog, they all know I'm the nigga that hit him. Del Dog knew I was a nigga that was keeping Studdabox right. And he started hating me from day one when he came up there for a death row meeting
and I wouldn't let him in with his tool, and I made him go put it up. He looked at everybody. He said, homie, this is what it is. He said, Wack running point, my nigga, like it's what it is. I said, bro, put it up. You can get up out of here on Power Road. You got to remember, he running set. So when I did him like that in front of his homies and Tony Muhammad, he hated me ever since. We ain't never had a kind word for each other. So I don't know what the fuck this bozo, or what you at Del Dog. Hey, the main streets is going to be like, dog, what is you talking about? Them niggas never got along. The nigga that killed Del Dog, they all know I'm the nigga that hit him.
So now, he ain't got nothing to do with Del Dog in the Main Street case. He a Paru. And then the Main Street's gonna be like, I thought you didn't know no Main Street. Nigga, I hid out the nigga that killed Del Dog. Wack, I got 7 Main Streets out. Wack again. I don't have nothing to do with that case. Wack again. I was told on too. Yeah, that's nasty work. What up, Stacy? Keith McCulley, salute. Y'all hit that like button if y'all just coming in, man. Let's get these likes up. They looking kind of suspect, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to show y'all that. We could go ahead and get rid of that one now. You know what I'm saying? That was nasty work. You know, he got nothing to do with that case. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, he the one that saved 7 Crips, right? And then let's go into this real quick, because that brother that broke that down, he was off on a couple little facts, nothing major. You know what I'm saying? But let's listen to Robert Ross.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it sound kind of muffled.
No,
that's how it sounds. Trust me.
Okay, go ahead.
He's claiming that DJ, what's the brother name? Rest in peace. K-Slay. K-Slay was still fucking with him while he was dead, and that they were putting Nick D and Y.G and all of them wrong. And I told him, bro, you a fucking lying. K-Slay wasn't even fucking with you at the time you was dead, bro. K-Slay was being managed by whole other people. Why is he trying to push false narrative? He's like, well, you don't know nothing. You don't even know. I said, listen, bro. So he said, well, look at this. He showed a PCR which showed that Studdabox messages that they own with Mark right now. We're talking to that effect. He said, so you talk. I said, so you admit that I talked to Mark Stevens this morning? Yeah, I already know that. Well, listen, bro. What I do also understand is that he wasn't managing him at the time. You're lying about that. You try to steal the rights to Sexy Canna, well, not the rights, but you try to receive royalty off of Sexy Canna when they own 50% of the record and so does Ranger. He denies that. Can you clarify how that went first? Yeah, we did a joint venture, Knockout and Deja 34 records. We did a joint venture, and I own 50% of the album. He owned 50% of the album. Ray J was I think I'm saying Ray J to get ownership of it. All right, so Ray J apparently had some dealings with sound with Death Row and Suge. And long story short, Studdabox brought me to Ray J. When I went to Ray J, I took him right to Alex Grumblack and Cox Records. They informed me they couldn't touch him because it was the politics with Suge and Death Row that had to be clarified first, and the debt had to be paid before they was willing to move forward. Wack called Suge to set up a meeting for me. I met Suge probably 3 times. The last time we met, we was in Vegas. We went to the Mayweather fight, and then that night we smoked cigars. We went to the suite, and we hammered out a deal. And we did the deal.
I talked
he released him from everything, and he was able to sign with
for Bacon Love.
Deja 34 and do the joint
Glad to see you.
Right. And at this time and period, y'all was still kosher with Wack100 and Cash Jones. Y'all hadn't came about for the information of his involvement as confidential source to Wack, which is correct. Well, correct, because I was the one who put Wack with Ray J and Koch because I wanted somebody to look over him while he was on the West Coast and he had to deliver this album. And because Ray J, he was claiming blood, I put him with Wack, and that's how they got tight. It was a security issue at first. He was his security. And Wack even brought him to New York. He brought him to my hometown. He took him several places, but he was his security. And then after my album was done and we didn't have any more dealing, I guess that's when he started managing Ray J. Okay. So, okay. So
real quick, Snap.
And at the time,
yeah.
Could we pause the audio? Tiny
Yeah.
Is that you that just came in? Hello? I think Tiny Draws in Goo. Pull up front CEO. But that was enough. We wanted to get what the fact that the boy wasn't his manager at the time of the deal. He brought him on because he did introduce Mark Stevens to Suge. Suge got paid even though he had no contract with Ray J because E1 Koch Records said they wasn't going to do the deal unless they do it. The Clubhouse room is Damu Kiwe Conversations, but we're not on Clubhouse right now. I didn't have time to make a thing. I have to go do something for Maria. I blame all these folks who got back started. Wack probably wears R&B thongs, dropping that ass. Damn, Jerry, you want to put that picture in a nigga mind? So let's go here real quick, right? Boom. So the paperwork on that shit, it says that all of the names right here, right? Let me go ahead and blow this up for y'all, right? So, County of Los Angeles Sheriff Department supplementary report. They said it has no file number and all of that. Here's the file number right here. This is discovery. So it's not like it's just a straight court documents. It's discovery that the police are using in their investigation. This is the sheriff's supplementary report. The case is a kidnapping, 207 PC, and robbery, 211 PC. Action, active victim witnesses interview, Robert Ross. So this is the case that should have been brought on, whether or not he was lying about him being an informant or not. I didn't know how to spell Ladell Rowles' name. I didn't know who the hell Big Wood was, James Harbin. I didn't know about Pat Rat, Marlon Hunt, Deion Hawkins, D-Lo, Taekwon Wingate, SK, Eddie Hill. I don't know none of these names. 50 Cent, Lil West. I don't know these dudes. You know what I'm saying? How was I going to make up fake paperwork with these dudes' names and I don't know their street names? I don't know their real government names. Some of y'all just believe anything. But look, check this out. We're going to go ahead and get into this agent provocateur. Oh, I got to share that shit. Got a lot of niggas working with him today. He didn't turn a lot of these niggas claiming 60s all the way out. This shit look crazy.
McStorty, all that document. I'm from Peru, homie.
Oh, that's the other
That
one.
ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, let's close down. try to send them at me. So now he goes and he gets these rejects. You know what I'm saying? He gets these rejects. And what he does with these rejects,
it'd be hard to get there without that real push, you know what I'm saying? And Nip made it, so dude just has no respect for dude, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but so y'all remember this, man, it's 2025, time go by fast. A couple of years ago, when Big U got picked up by the feds, and he was out the next day.
By the feds.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember when Brick Baby said that him and Big U got the same lawyer? And Brick Baby words was, it's ugly for Cuz, bro. They want Cuz in jail. And they tied Cuz to a murder out there in Vegas. You remember that? Now, I didn't really know what he was talking about. He was like, yeah, they tied Cuz to a young nigga in Vegas. It's ugly for Cuz. They want Cuz in jail. I'm like, ooh. Wasn't really none of my business. I didn't really care. I'm like, you know, who knows what dude really got going on? I had been stopped messing with dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he was talking about this year, last year, whenever. I'm just like, huh? So I looked it up. It was the kid, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's really a lot. It's a lot to talk about. What's up with it? What's up, Hector? It's a lot to talk about, and it's a lot of stuff that I do know that hasn't been made public.
What's really cracking, homeboy? Do your thing. King Rock Daddy, what it fruit?
Yeah, dude was living with Big U, man. You know, he was a football player, you know, and he got killed. You know what I'm saying? And Big U said that he wasn't in Vegas at the time.
This nigga is doing an open investigation of a murder. He bring a open murder case to the internet on Big U, and you niggas talking about it was entertaining. This nigga is the super federales.
You know, he didn't reach out to the family. He didn't go to the funeral. He didn't go to Nipsey's funeral either. He didn't reach out to Nipsey's funeral either, bro. You know what I mean? Same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. But then as I'm doing my videos, y'all go watch my videos. I've been doing reels on Instagram. They've been kind of going up. And they're like, man, 600, you snitching. You doing a police job. I'm not in contact with no police, no detectives. I'm not speaking on no information that's not already out there. If I get information, it's what the police already got. You know, they release information to the family, updates on the family, to the family. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know nothing about that murder. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. I didn't even know the kid was even missing. You know what I'm saying? I was on some whole other stuff. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm not in contact with no detectives. No, I have no information for them. You know what I mean? I'm just letting the world know what's going on, because what these dudes will do, these dudes try to hide.
I'm just letting the world know what's going on. No, you just letting the feds know what's going on. They all knew who you were in the court. Even the U.S. attorney wanted to defend. He's never spoken with us. Why they didn't say that Deuce Sims, they never spoke to Deuce Sims? Why do they feel the need to be protective of you? Yeah, that's not a good look.
Hide stuff. Just like when he went to the feds, you know what I'm saying, a few times and tries to hide it. You know what I mean? He tries to hide it, bro, from the people. He tries to fool the people. You know, he tries to lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Dude is not really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying, who did it, but you know, it's an ongoing investigation, bro. It's bad, homie. So, like I say, he was last seen with Big U. You know what I mean? So let me play something for y'all right quick.
This nigga said he was last seen a dead body with Big U. What else? How else can you implicate a nigga in a high one? This shit is nasty work, bro. But look, this is just what CS2 Back do, man. You know what I'm saying? All he do is implicate niggas in open murder cases, nigga. Imagine me on here talking about anybody's open murder case, nigga. Nigga, what kind of a thug do you think I am? You know what I'm saying? See, those don't even get spoke on off the air. And you're talking about speaking about them online. Yeah, well, who raised these niggas, bro? Nah, this is really Berioso. Who the fuck raised these weirdos? These niggas is talking about some hot ones. Who was last to see who? Then he says that the nigga's DNA was found up under the dead nigga's body. This is before a nigga ever was arrested for it. This is the type of shit this is the type of beefing the Crip cop brags about. The greatest to get away with it, with snitching and nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? You seen that shit that his mama and grandma's or sisters, his daddy married and had him with his auntie? Oh yeah, I did see that. So what murders do you know about? He said he want everybody to know what's going on. This is what he said. I didn't say it. The Crip cop did. Christopher Love Boys. Love Boys. Ain't seen him with a bitch yet. Bro, my brother got killed and they gave us info, but not direct info, as in name 600 full of shit. Laugh out loud. They won't do that so that the suspect don't come up missing. I know that, brother. Thank you, though, J86 Web. Thank you for that information. That's playing with a life, and he's diabolical as fuck. Grandma was not on the job. Dudes there protecting their assets. And if Big U not like that, why 600 didn't pull up? Bitch, honey. Hey, that's a fact. Killers don't get heard about. They get whispered about it and you'll get murdered out. Salute to Lil Wayne for that bar. It's suspect love, boy. Puppy Patrol pigeon shit. Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa. Wack100 informed federal government snitching rats. Unalive. Karan. Can. Baltimore. Ronito. Gay informants. Police officer department. Federal government sniffing rats. Unalive people. Vanessa, I'm not really getting what you getting at, but thanks for the comment. We really appreciate it. That's why he sounds and looks like the hill have eyes. But look, man, we gonna get up out of here, man. We just wanted to give y'all a couple hours of some content that we seen up on the internet. My boy Scandalous put it out, a dose of reality TV. I did put that link in the chat. Y'all go run up that most scandalous Los Angeles TV video. Tell them I came. Celebrity, beyond the celebrity stories. Make sure y'all, if y'all go over there and y'all hit that like button, man, y'all get in the comments, tell them that y'all came from the Damu Kiwe Conversations. Yeah, let them know where they at, bro.
Man, listen, y'all sat through 2.5 hours. Dopest, realest, authentic content, man, with the receipts. Salute to the chat. You already know that's where it's at, man. Salute to the mods. For sure, they was on their job, man. And salute to the people, the friends that tapped in for the first time. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this content. Deuce M's the Don, and Yael the Kiwe pop star. Bringing you guys the receipts with the authentic voices of the culture and the West Coast. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
All right, salute. We up out of here, man.